Hello, and welcome to the first in a series of interviews where I'm interviewing Nathan about some of his favorite, least favorite, and other wrestlers that he feels to.
So you didn't come a name with the series. You asked that I get in my best duds.
Yep.
And you didn't come up with a name for the series.
Yeah.
Why?
I figured it would just fall together.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the first wrestler that I will be interviewing you about, I suppose I should say, he just made a big return at Survivor Series last week. He had a promo on Raw.
We talked about this beforehand. If it's the guy I'm thinking of right now,
It's Randy Orton.
Oh, thank God.
So, my first question for you about Randy Orton would be, what was the initial draw-in for Randy Orton for you?
So Randy Orton, when he came in, was 2003. At least that's when I first saw him. He was in his Legend Killer gimmick, and who was he feuding with? Shawn Michaels. So naturally, I was drawn to hate the person. Randy is one of those people, though, that as his career moved forward and his character changed and morphed, he got different draws. One of the biggest ones would be Viper Orton. What the heck is he going to do next? You remember the one on WrestleMania 25 when he was... when he had got Stephanie McMahon, he trapped her, kissed her, and then the DDT. Oh my God, was he hated. And you could not help but just be drawn in by what he was going to do next because he could snap at any moment.
So, from what you're saying, your favorite iteration of Orton is like the 09 Viper era, where he was just cold-blooded and would do absolutely anything to get over.
Yeah, 1,000%. And the draw for him was, it didn't matter who the face was, except for one, but that's because I hate the one with a fiery passion at the time. But you wanted them to kick Randy Orton's ass. That's the beauty of the heel. Orton himself, just his facial expressions, his tone, his mannerisms, everything about him was like, he could snap at any moment. He could kill you at any moment. And that's what I think I loved about Orton, certainly. That's what a lot of people liked about Orton, too.
So, over the course of Orton's career, he has had many different tag team partners. My question for you is, who is your favorite tag team partner of Randy Orton's, and why?
Now, do you want me to be a troll about this question, or do you want me
I'd like you to answer it honestly.
Okay. So, my favorite tag team partner for Randy Orton is Shawn Michaels when they teamed together from 2005 for about 3 months. Now, if you had asked me who Randy Orton's favorite partner was, who he won the title with, by far and away, that's Edge. Team Raid RKO is one of those strange bedfellows tag teams that just worked. I feel like you could put Edge with almost anybody, but you pair him with Orton, and Orton, while not in the whole Viper gimmick, is still psychotic. And you get Edge, who was just a lot of fun. The whole thing was just fun to hate. And I hated Rated RKO. I hated them when they first got together because they were feuding with DX. And they just made hating them so much fun.
Okay, so Randy Orton's famous for his RKO out of nowhere.
Yes.
Can literally come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with camera angles and all that.
I don't care.
But
same with Sweet Chin Music.
Question for you is, what is your favorite RKO?
Oh, Christ. See, I don't know how to answer this one. And I don't know how to answer this one because I'm not sure if I took the one he did off of the cage for War Games as Randy doing the RKO himself, or if it's just recency bias, or if I go with the Evan Bourne RKO.
It is a beautiful RKO.
They're both beautiful, and the way that Randy does the RKO is so bloody clean that you could feasibly go with like 15 or 20 RKOs. I remember there was one RKO where he just decided to do the splits in the air, do a little Jake, and then perfect RKO. It was 2011 when he was feuding with Christian.
Yeah.
But no, if I had to choose, I would say RKO off of Evan Bourne.
Okay, so who was your favorite Randy Orton rivalry opponent?
So I've got two. Because there's three schools of thought on this from any wrestling fan. The first one, of course, is John Cena. The second one is Triple H. The third one is Shawn Michaels. Now, I'm going to take John Cena completely out of the equation because their rivalry lasted too long. And one of the issues I have with rivalries is knowing when to start them, knowing how to fuel them, and knowing how to finish them.
Yeah.
The one with Triple H that I'm talking about specifically is Randy Orton's favorite rivalry, and I completely understand why. The lead up to WrestleMania 25. If you were watching Raw, and not me, and just a casual viewer, you were watching for Triple H and Randy Orton. Like I say, Randy Orton DDT'd Stephanie McMahon. Triple H broke into Orton's house. Like, all of this build, and it was so wonderfully done. Let's just not talk about Mania 25 because it was really ham-fisted and how they ended it. And the other way to go, obviously for me, is Shawn Michaels. When Randy Orton started to get the Legend Killer gimmick, who was his first rivalry against? Shawn Michaels. When Randy Orton needed a character change from the Legend Killer to the Viper, who was it? Shawn Michaels. And HBK was always the person that you could go to for credence for Randy Orton. Didn't matter whether Orton won or lost against Shawn, it was always a good match. It was always a good time. Particularly the 07 one, where Orton was we started to get into the Viper unhinged Randy Orton, and Shawn Michaels came back in that wonderful hunting gear that Vince McMahon hated. We got the rivalry where Shawn couldn't use Sweet Chin Music or be disqualified, and so Shawn is coming up with all of these creative ways to destroy Randy Orton, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Now, a lot of people who have gotten into the ring with Orton have stated that he's probably the greatest in-ring performer of all time.
No, he's not.
From their perspective, because when you're in there with Orton, it feels like you can do pretty much anything, and he makes it feel so easy to work with.
I'm just saying, he's not
and
the
I
greatest,
will say,
but...
Shawn Michaels has been one of them to state how great Orton is in the ring.
And he is great. He's just not the best. It's Shawn Michaels. So let's call a spade here.
All right. Now, getting a little close to the 10-minute maximum mark. We got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, around there, maybe a little bit more. So my last and final question for you for this is going to be Evolution or Legacy?
Evolution. Legacy was all Orton with Cody Rhodes, who, all due respect to the American Nightmare right now, he was not ready to be in Legacy. And Ted DiBiase, I don't think, could ever be ready. Evolution were four guys in Triple H and Nate who had done it before, coming up with the next generation. And it was built over a long period of time. The whole slow build for Evolution, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, with that being said, with a minute left to go, we'll be back with more interviews eventually. Who would you guys like to see me ask Nathan about? What kind of questions would you like me to ask him about? And just overall, are you enjoying this, or did you enjoy this? Let us know.
Are you enjoying this, or did you enjoy this?
Yeah, it's terrible, right?
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, we'll cut.